So, they have race cars at the Okaloosa Island Convention Center. And this guy's got this dog running loose over here, and they have leash law here. And there's some guys over on the pier photographing and some race cars over there. And I hope that nasty cop doesn't show up and be mean to him. They don't like him parking there at all. And it's really sad because it's not bothering anybody. But that kind of looks like a pit bull, actually. But anyway, I was over here by my car for a minute. I don't like when they pee on my tires or jump on my paint. It's not cool. But anyway, so it's so pretty today. Really, really pretty. Just stop the world and come over here and breathe in some beautiful salt water and beach and happiness. Yesterday was just so unreal. I don't like my life to be hectic, negative, any weirdness. I like it peaceful and smooth all the time. So I try to surround myself with that. Anybody's problematic, I just want nothing to do with them. I'm nice to them, cordial, but I just, kind of pull away. So it's just me. Man, it's so pretty today. This week, I guess it would probably be in about the 80s all week. In Destin, the Summer Place Inn was like 59 last week, and today it's 199. Yes. There's a girl laying on the grass, and she's covering herself with a blanket all the way up to her chest. I think you're defeating the purpose. Oh, I wished I had some food so I could go feed some birds. But I don't. Well, hopefully there won't be a whole bunch of drama today. That lady's just trying to get moved in, and this may be a temporary situation. I don't know, but I'm still considering giving up my office because of this matter. One, because management was just not defensive to me, or in my defense, on the matter. It was just really strange. I don't know what the hell was going on. But, one, I shouldn't have to be begging to use the bathroom in my place of business. I'm not the only one it's raining there, and you know, you have to wait an hour and 35 minutes, 45 minutes just to try to use the bathroom because somebody's hanging out in there taking a bath and all that other stuff. It's not fair. Man, when I use the bathroom, I'm like, really quick, get out, even in public. I don't, want to make people wait or anything. Who is there? Inspirational Nomad. I'm at one of your favorite places. Trying to inhale some peace before I go to the office. How are you today? Look, I did a vlog yesterday for like an hour. And then when I went to go look at the vlog, it had no monetization on it. And I turned the monetization on. But somehow or another, I guess it flipped off. But oh well. But I had a nice time with everybody. We were wondering where you were at. So I hope you're having a great day today. I hope I have a great one too. I'm still pretty rattle caged from yesterday. I was shaking all day yesterday. It was just so much for me. And it's funny because, when if I think something's going to be kind of problematic, I'd rather avoid the negativity and just kind of hide out. So I've spent most of my time in my car or my office, and with the door shut in my office, just to hope there wasn't going to be any problem. And all I want to do was go pee, and it was a problem. It's so pretty today. Really, really pretty. And that water be ice cold right now. It's going to take another month before the water starts warming up a little bit. I think they got a big car show of race cars today on Okaloosa Island. You hear them screaming down the streets all over, so I said, there must be something going on today, and then I drove past it. It's a little bit shallow over here today. It's not normally like that. I don't even know if they allow dogs on this beach. Some of them, they have signs where they don't permit them at all. But in Florida, you sure as heck got to have a leash. And you got to pick up your animal's poopies, or they'll fine you $200 and up. Isn't that terrible to have if you had a dog and you'd pick up their poopies? I couldn't do it. I'd have to say, nope, I'm not doing it. Oh, pretty day, pretty day. What is it? Almost 70 degrees already here. And it's early in the morning. So, Etsy's still not back on. It might take time. I've read a bunch of stuff about the sellers on the forums that where, they were shut off by accident or something, and it lasted like 2 days, and then it would maybe go for a week or 2 weeks or whatever. Look at this. God, I hope that mean cop doesn't come down here and get on their butt because they're not bothering anybody. They don't like you to park there. Even when nobody's here to use it, that's trailer parking only, but they have one young cop that's just really nasty. And it was funny because the maintenance guy for the park here came up and told my daughter and I about it. He said, God, be careful. We'd come down to feed the birds, and he's like, there's a really nasty cop down here. He will literally give you a ticket. I'm like, what? And then I watched it, and the guy was like screaming at people and stuff. So they moved a big shed back here and some other stuff. And I was here one day and they were putting internet in there. And I thought maybe they were turning it into offices. I would have liked to rent either one of these or live in them. I don't know, that guy looks like a local yokel. Let's go down here and see what's going on. This place has been vacant so many years. Let's stumble in. It got hit pretty bad in the last storm. These Texas people going so fast. Why are those people are over there? Like they were boondocking over there. And I gotta tell you, I know that owner of that club really well. I don't think he would be real excited about it. Man, there's a lot of vehicles over there. It's like a bunch of bikers. But it could also be people that work there that are homeless. Tim's still got his big power boat out there. Boy, it looks worse and worse every year. It's probably been sitting there since like the 80s. Tim's character. Looks like he fell right out of the 70s. Real nice looking guy. Dresses really nice. I think he's very 70s. Friendly Cruises, Cattywampus. That must be a new thing there. You know, that looks like the one that was down at Harbor Rock Village. This is the Gulf, and it in Okaloosa Island, and it's like a total outdoor mall, restaurants, bar, and stuff right on the beach. They own the beach right there, and so you can go there. You can go to the beach. You don't have to pay to go there or anything like that. And drink Cokes. You can bring your kids and all that. Back in here. Right in this curve used to be all the hotel, which the hotel's still back. Let's see. Oh, it's behind me. Bahia is the hotel behind me, because I remember the curve when I stayed down here a few times, and it was like $30 a night back then, and the other hotels were like around 20. But you could get in this hotel and pay, you know, that 30 and be right over the water. And, you know, of course it was an older hotel, but, you know, it's really nice. I stayed down there a few times when I come down to run costumes, and it was really quite nice. And then they tore down the bar that used to be over here. That's where that big metal building is. It's indoor docking for boats, and they have elevators in there and stuff and lifts. But this Bahia right here, they call this condos now. And you can see it's pretty old now. And that was probably built in the 70s, maybe the late 60s or 70s, probably, by the style of the roof. It's much like my father's business building in California. And uh, I had got a room on that side towards the water. They had given me that. Now it's condos, so you have to own those. And people lease them out. And I knew a dancer that used to come down here and lease one for like $1,000 a month or something. It's 1,000 or a little bit over that. And I'm like, man, how do you afford that? And then all the other times that she would come down for short term, for a couple weeks, she would just go stay at that funky hotel where the old Sammy's was. My daughter's dad and I, Georgie, we stayed there several times at that hotel, and it was just funky. It's just so old. In fact, we stayed there one time when they were redoing it on the outside. We were kind of hoping they'd redo the inside. This is really kind of decrepit. Hi. Why are you stopping? Land of idiots. Maybe they were mating that red Cadillac. Who knows? Oh, Alvin's Island looks like they got fresh paint on the building there. Look at the sparkly floaties. Look like sparkly donuts. They have that car there, and they let everybody climb all over it and take pictures and stuff. Or at least I see people doing it all the time. I've never seen an employee come out and start screaming at anybody or anything. Oh, so I escaped Destin successfully very quickly this morning, actually. Couldn't sleep long because I sure didn't get much sleep last night. Because I vlogged entirely too late. And I should have looked at the weather before I left the office, because you have to watch the weather really a lot to see how long you're going to get to sleep. I mean, I've had times where I had to get up 6 in the morning because of the extreme temperatures of heat, because you'll die in the car in about 20 minutes. So you got to keep an eye on the temperature and set an alarm so that you make sure to wake up in time. And you got to judge the outdoor temperature factor. And hey, yes, I did. I sure did. I was such a nervous wreck yesterday. Mother of God, I don't like that. I do not like that. But because I don't fire back at people and all that kind of stuff, and I just kind of hold back and try to be peaceful and nice, and you know, that kill them with kindness thing. Because I just can't take the stress. My heart is not good, so I cannot take the stress. And I'm trying to avoid from having to take a bunch of medicines and going to hospitals and all that. I'm just trying to live a good, peaceful life and eat pretty healthy and just stay away from the drama. It's just that where my storages are at and then where my office is at, there's so much drama and so much problematic, ultimately poor people with no cars, problems, all this other stuff. And you know, they always love to come talk to me, and I'm always the one, you know, that's smiling and tries to give them a positive outlook for the day or solve their problems. And you know, just one of those kind of people that, you know, offers kind words, you know, to make somebody's day better. You know, yeah, it's just so much babysitting for me. I'm not really in danger, I don't think. I've got a lot of the poor folks that just adore me and would do anything for me, so I don't feel like I'm in danger. It's very problematic. I don't like people to say bad things about me or treat me badly when I've done nothing. And I'm the first one to bow out and stay out of people's way. I just don't want to get into the drama. I'm just too peaceful for that. Now, back in my younger days, fireball. I tell you how to cow eat that cabbage 150 different ways. I do not tolerate nothing. Right now in the pandemic, people are so edgy and weird. Like, I just went in the store, and they had this new guy working there, who was probably in his 20s, and he was trying to give me change for 20, my change from the transaction, and then he walked away to go to another register to go get a couple dollars, and was giving me $18 back out of 20. $2 purchase, and he got kind of snippy. And I'm just standing there doing the transaction, and I was really surprised that I just hit him back with kind words. Gosh, thank you so much. You're awesome. Yes, sir. And that was just really strange. God, that looks like my old Cadillac. For sure. And I sold to that guy, the first guy that drove up in a Bentley from Destin, bought that caddy. After the last 2 or 3 newer Cadillacs I've had, I really probably will never have another newer Cadillac. I just don't like them. They are so problematic. And they're not very pretty anymore. They used to be really pretty cars. I really like the older ones. 50s to 80s. The last Fleetwood Bronc. Big 4 doors. I would like to get one of those. I had the one before the last. It was stolen. But I would very much like to get the very last one. And just live with that for the rest of my life. Thank you. And I just missed the Cadillac a couple years ago. There was one I was chasing in Destin. And I'm pretty sure it's the same one that's over here in Mary Esther. And most of the time it stays parked, and every time I go by it, there's more and more spokes missing off of it. It's so sad. I had them steal the spokes off mine in the parking lot of a strip club in the daytime in 20 minutes flat. And they have a key lock on them. They come with a key lock. And it's just spoke hubcap. And I was like, how do they even steal that? The trees and sky look so nice. Yes, they do. It's a really pretty day today. We're having a nice warm week during the day, and then the nights have been kind of cooler. Now, last night wasn't bad. Last night was like 58, which makes the car 68. The first time I had to run my fans in months. So that's going to be the next thing, where I got to buy all batteries all the time. And to make sure, because you go to sleep, you got to make sure that temperature is right, or you're going to die. I've had a few times, probably 3 times, where I woke up and it was 90 in the car, and I could have died. And that was super scary. So these people don't understand. You have to stop at the red light to turn, and they want to drive over me. It's like, man, I get that dumb. I swear he was a tourist, but he's Florida. This is so pretty over here, this business section. Santa Rosa Executive Plaza. This is in Mary Esther. This is really pretty, and I bet it is kind of old. I don't know, it might have been built in the 90s. I'm trying to see the architecture there. never taken too much time to look at it. Hertz is back up and running. This was vacant for a while. They sure got a lot of cars over here. So, what I was reading forums and stuff, that apparently with this war going on with Russia doing all that craziness, there's a bunch of sellers from the Ukraine and Russia, and apparently the Etsy's shutting all their shops down if they're from Russia. That's not fair, you know? And then two, PayPal, if you can believe this, the new people that have PayPal have stopped any business from the Russian and Ukraine. So if you have a business and you use PayPal for your pay either, you can't do any business. Because they just stop all your transactions. I don't know if they're actually closing the accounts down. All I know is people are saying that they can't use PayPal. They won't permit them. So maybe they're just holding their account during this war, and that's not nice. All those people on both sides are not in charge of that war. It's the head dude, and they've already decided he's a war criminal. So I don't know. I don't know a lot about all that politics stuff because I don't get into it. It's not happening in my backyard. It's not affecting me. But I feel sorry for those people trying to make a buck, you know. That might be their only bread and butter when they're selling online. They might have kids. There might be a whole bunch of people in one house. And they can't get an income. Because people are acting doofus. The thing that really makes me mad is when the United States goes in there and just starts paying everybody's way. They tear a bunch of crap up and then they go over and send millions of dollars and go rebuild them. I mean, it's like, you know, when we were kids and you played war, you know, with the little army dolls and all that stuff, you know, it was like you tore the other person's stuff all up and then that was it. When they lost everything, then that was the end. But, you know, so you kind of understood it. You get in a battle, you tear all their crap up, that's it. But no, the United States, they get in all this stuff and tear people's crap up, millions of dollars worth of damage, kill people, all that great stuff. And then they turn around and put out millions of dollars to rebuild what they trashed. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So you jack all their stuff and give them all my stuff. It just doesn't make sense. And there's all kinds of people over here at this bank. They're trying to have a car meet up there. There's the Mariester Fire and Rescue. Yay for the firemen. And the fire truck. Man, it's so pretty. You cannot believe how pretty it is. This weather, I'm digging it. I do like it when it's about 70s, but hell, I grew up in California, so, you know, it's like the 70s all day long. We'll just hang out here for a moment. And park like a human and not a tourist. Don't want to be rude, even though there's nobody here. I still don't want to be in anybody's way. We were door dashing one day and we parked way away from a restaurant to go pick up because they always love to park next to me, swing their doors on the car and dent it all up. We were running in the Cadillac and my daughter ran in to go get the food and this cop came out and started giving me a bunch of hell for no reason. I was like, what? And I'm not bothering anybody. We were just picking up the food. She comes out and he's still harassing us, so we can't leave. You know, you're on a timer on DoorDash. You know, and you know, they want you to pick up quick. They want you to deliver quick, and sometimes you'll get a bonus if you deliver real early or whatever, or at least on time. And so Um, otherwise you're going to lose the order because they'll cancel it. If they don't see your car moving on the GPS, Didi will cancel that order, and then you're in bad shape. So this guy's arguing with me, and he's like, "You can't park here." I said, "We're just doing DoorDash. We're just picking up some food, and well, you're like double parked." So, oh, sorry, I didn't realize it. I mean, it was like a really old parking lot and stuff, and I was backed up on the end of that parking lot. I wasn't parked near the building, and he was giving me all kinds of hell, and I'm like, okay, sir, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was bothering anybody, you know, we just came to do a pickup real quick. I didn't want my car near all those other cars. But that was out in Picola. I think it was like a Chick-fil-A or something we were picking food up from down on Navy Street. And I was like, man, do they really have the time to do that bugging when you're not in anybody's way? There was nobody parked over there where I parked. Just me. Yes, I hope you guys are having a really great day. It is so pretty today. I hope today is a lot smoother. My gosh. I don't need the drama. No, no, no. Looks like this guy's going to go ride this bike over here. They had a thing in Florida where you didn't have to wear a helmet. There was no law to wear a helmet or something like that. But boy, I'll tell you what, it's really dangerous. You really need to have leathers, jeans, and a helmet. I knew a girl in Memphis that got a ride from a customer, and she started getting a lot of rides from him. She would be all drunk and jacked up and everything, and I guess he would too. And she came into work one day, and she had road rash, like from her ankle all the way up her leg, on her booty, the side of her rib cage, and her arm and stuff. And I'm like, whoa, what the heck happened to you? It looks like you're in a car wreck. She said, no, motorcycle wreck. And I said, oh man. And she's like, yeah, like I almost died. And I was like, whoa, bummer. I don't know about riding drunk and being on the back of a motorcycle. It's only happened to me once. That was 100 years ago. Whoa. 101 miles an hour. I wasn't driving a bike. And after that, I'm real leery about riding bikes. All these years later. I don't like them. I've had a couple friends calling me into riding for a minute, but I don't like them. Even with the leathers and the helmet and all the other crap, I do not like motorcycles. I treasure my legs too much. Sorry. I can keep what I got. Yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't give DoorDash drivers hell. You know what? I have delivered to police departments and jails. And not to the people that are in jail, but to the people, the jailers, whatever you call them, where they'll actually have you drive around the back of the building and come to the big steel door and wait, and then there's all this protocol and stuff, and then they're really happy to see you. They're just so excited to see you. They're real nice, and but I've delivered to several of them. The bad part is they don't tell you. You get this address and you have no clue where you're going to. And a lot of these jails are in complexes with, courts and other things, and real big complexes, and you don't know where you're going. You're like driving around in circles. You're sending a message, they don't answer. And then, if they'd have told you right off the top, I'm at the sheriff's department, or I am, at the jail, come around back. And they would tell you all this stuff in advance, at least when you've picked up the food. Because I always send messages. I don't care what Dee Dee does. I don't believe in their computer. I don't think customers get all those messages all the time at all. So I always send my messages like, they taught us. I'm waiting on your food. Um, Food ready. En route. 5 miles. When I get about halfway, I send them another message. And when I'm right about on top of that address, I send them another message and say, I'm near you. Yeah, they get real. So I had one lady that was real obnoxious about it because I kept driving up and down the street, up and down the street, up and down the street, and it was to I guess that's Fort Walton Police Department. Fort Walton or Mary Esther. And it's like way down in Hollywood or something. And I was driving in circles on the street thinking it's a house. Because I always look at the address because I'm not doing apartments. If it has anything to do with hotels or apartments, some hotels I will deliver to, because they don't let us in and we have to be out front or be in the lobby. Because they won't permit us. As a rule, if you ask the hotel, they do not want you going to the rooms. And so you're on video camera, and I'm not going to get in legal trouble over that. There's no way. Other than the fact, they don't pay us to go traipsing all over the place. They don't pay us by the minute. And so when you get in those big, huge complexes, you can't figure out where the thing is at. It's a nightmare. But I always give people advance notice. So they usually meet me in my car. They just go, I'll see you in the parking lot or whatever. So they're real nice. And, if you give them the information, they'll meet you. You don't even have to ask them to. They'll offer or be there because they know the food's coming. If you don't tell them the food's coming, they're not going to be out there. They're going to wait for you to just bring it and find them. But yeah, that one lady I drove in circles trying to deliver this food. And I was like, tell me the color of your house, because I'm having trouble finding it. And they wouldn't answer for a while, and then she said, it's the police department. And I said, oh, thank you. And then, took it over there, and it was during the pandemic, the beginning of the pandemic, and took it over there, and there's a big sign outside the door. The doors were locked. They had sanitizer and masks on a little thing there, and it says, by appointment only, and you can ring the buzzer or something. And I sent a text message to the customer. And I thought, boy, they're really going to be pissy now because they were pissy before. Because I didn't know the address was the police department. Like, I don't go to police departments. I don't go to jails. Don't know nothing about it. So, she was like, just leave it at the door. I was like, okay. And then I took a picture of it for me, took a picture of it for Dee Dee, and told her thank you and have a really blessed day. And jumped in my car and got out of there as fast as possible. No fooling around. I waited to go down the street so I could get my next order. I didn't want to be hanging around because I didn't want any problems with them coming out there and bugging me when I'm working. So I just go to another location and watch the phone for another order. But yeah. So I did one order. I still need to vlog that. I did one order, and this guy was so nasty. It was absolutely nightmare, and it was in a storm, and I was driving around in circles, and miles here and miles over there. Could not find it. It was terrible. And I need to vlog that. And I keep forgetting to do it. So pretty today. Oh my gosh. It's like a California day. I got 2 thumbs up. Inspirational Nomad was here a minute ago. But, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful day. So, I can't do a whole lot today. Except for organize my office. I really don't know if I feel like making any products because everything's kind of halted until the Etsy comes back up, or I get my overdraft paid at the bank for like $300 from about a month ago, and then get my eBay clear so that I can ship whatever. Yeah, being mean to the delivery driver is a big no-no. Yeah, I mean, why would you do that? That's like going into a restaurant and being a total butthead, and then, you don't know what they're doing to your food, right? Don't do it. Be nice. And it's a luxury service. I mean, look at all the traffic and the gas and the waiting time you save by ordering from a gig app company to have all kinds of different food. It's not like, you know, when I left home, the only thing you could order from was Pizza Man He Delivers. For hot food, that's all there was. Like Pizza Man He Delivers. And they charged pretty good money for that. And so you always had a tip. If you didn't tip, they weren't coming back. So you better figure out how to tip. But, and it takes hours to order Pizza Man. Hours in California. You order Pizza Man, you're not seeing it for 2 or 3 hours. That's just the way it is. And, but you're super grateful they showed up, because the times I used to order that crap was like when I'd been drinking all night and went home. Or I was bartending 2 shifts, day and night, got off at 2, and stayed for 30 minutes, an hour to clean the bar, and then, go home, and the only thing that's open is 7-Eleven 24 hours, and they got like hot dogs and junk there. And then you just go, ugh, and you just call Pizza Man. And you sit and watch TV, and whenever they finally show up, you'll call a few times and go, hey, did you guys forget me? and then you got to stand out in the street to watch for them, because they're not going to make an extra effort to try to find your place. So you have to actually stand out in the street with your money waiting for them. And that's back when they had cars with the signs and all that stuff. And so you had to watch for the Pizza Man car. And when they supplied the car for the people to drive and stuff, and the insurance and everything. And you were real nice to them when they finally got there. You didn't chew them out because they were so late. Because they were usually really nice people, and they had a bazillion orders they're delivering all at once. You're not the only one. And you make sure to tip them. At least $2. That was back then. You didn't tip them at least $2, you're never going to see food at your house again. Never, ever. So, yeah. But it's very much today, with all the different gig apps and all that, it's very much a luxury service. And people should respect that. But you're getting all the poor suckers that just take it for granted, and they figure it's all in one price and all that stuff. And they don't realize what it is for us gig app drivers, that it's like, the companies you're ordering from are taking the tips. Like Chipotle, that's the biggest bad deal of all. But see, Chipotle pays Didi to deliver. That's all they do. They run an online to-go thing on their website. People order from them, and they can't even order unless they pay certain fees and stuff and certain tips and all that. And then the Chipotle people keep all that. That goes to the workers that are preparing the order. It does not go to us. And Chipotle has merely hired us to transport their food. That's all. So they don't have to buy delivery cars and pay their people to do it. And so that's why you get so screwed over Chipotle, and you're delivering $600 orders and $1,000 orders and $3,000 orders for a wedding and stuff like that. Or especially with the event preparers, like these people, advertise to do weddings for people, And then they're like, okay, so do you want food, and what kind of food do you like? How many people? And then they order it through Chipotle's website. And then Dee Dee is contracted to deliver it. And you know, you got to have a van and all that to even be able to get that catering order. And then, you know, you're wondering if you're going to get tipped because the original offer is $3 or $6 from DoorDash. And then you have to do all this mileage and be in traffic, and you have to wait an hour for the food to come up because the restaurant won't put the food loose beforehand because it's already ready. And then they'll come load it in your car. Chipotle will load it in your car, cases of stuff. And then you better have a tarp to lay under it because it's stuff, they don't pack it good. And you got salsa and everything else leaking all over your car. And then you go to deliver the stuff, and then they, you know, wanted you to set everything up, and you couldn't leave until the event was over. If they asked you to stay, and then you had to stay and clean up, and you had to set up all the food, and it's just like, you know, and then you get no tip. So I've had to deliver to doctors' offices for parties that pharmaceutical companies would pay for. They would order lunch for all the employees in the building, and then, you know, on Dee Dee, and then you go to deliver it, and there's nobody to help you bring it in or anything, and there's no parking, and you can't carry but 2 big cases of food at a time, and you've got 15 cases. So then you gotta go buy a cart, a collapsible cart, for the next time it happens, because now you know you got to be able to at least stack like 5 boxes, because it takes you 35 minutes just to load in, and that's after you waited 20 minutes in the doctor's office just trying to talk to the lady at the desk and tell her you have food and where would you like to have me put it, you know. And it's real problematic. But if you go to Chipotle website and look at ordering banquet food, you know, large orders, they have a mandatory tip. They have a service fee and a mandatory tip. And you can't order it without it. And it's pretty high. And it's a percentage of the sale, too. And that goes to the people that prepared the food in the boxes, not to the drivers. So it's not totally fair, but again, all they did was contract Dee Dee to move the stuff. So they didn't have to buy a car and pay for insurance. But, you know how you always tell a tourist in Florida? They have a Panama hat on and a Hawaiian shirt. Like they say in the South, Hawaiian shirt. That's like the first clue. Oh, it's a tourist. Oh, it's going to be problematic. Personally, I like the little surfer shirts. I've always liked them, but here it's like a label. Oh, tourist. Watch out. A remarkable, beautiful day. Wish I could take today off, but I've got to be moving and grooving. Because if I do move my office, I have some stuff I need to organize and pack up. If I do move my office, I want to be able to move it without too much trouble. Problem is my rent's due on it. It was due on it on the 1st, so I don't know how it'll go. But I have a deposit too. And, I don't know even how Monday's going to go. Because when the district lady comes in, she's like Hitler. And this cuckoo lady, I don't know what she said to the guy in the office, but he like threw me out of the office when I went up there. And he is always a really nice guy. And that hurt my feelings. Because I did nothing wrong. I just needed to pee. I did what anybody else does, knock on the door nicely and ask if anybody's in there before you turn the doorknob. And she said, wait a minute. No, she said, you'll have to wait. She'd already been in there 30 or 45 minutes. And I waited about 2 minutes, she come out and starts screaming at me. Big, endless, traumatic thing for about 5 minutes. And I'm just kind of standing there asking her, okay, can I please go pee? She stood in the door and blocked it where I couldn't even go in. I had to pee. I'd asked her 3 times. Finally, she let me through. So, but she's definitely got mental problems. And I really don't like dealing with people that are off balance. So try to avoid it and try to be peaceful because they can go really cuckoo. Just such a pretty day. Oh my gosh. So, and again, I don't know. That lady may have already finished moving all her stuff. Maybe she's just going to keep doing it for days. I don't know. I'm just trying to hide, be in my car, be in my office. And if she says anything, I'm just nice. You know, I don't need the drama. But it's enough to make me want to kill my lease. There's just too much bull crap. I talked to the people in the other office on the phone a couple times yesterday, and they were pissed. They were getting ready to cut their lease when they come down. That one medical military contract. They were ready to cut it when they came down. They had told me beforehand, like, they were kind of thinking it was going to be their last trip. And I said, well, I just hope it's not problematic. Actually, it has been. So they're probably going to end up losing 2 of the long-time offices. That contract, that would be so pitiful for them to lose that military contract. Because they're only there for a week, actually like 4 days a month. And they want to charge them parking. You know, $100 a month for parking. You know, to rent a space that they're not going to be around for. Man, it's like you're just pushing these people out. They have so much trouble renting those offices because they're in such bad shape. They're a pretty reasonable price, I guess, for an office. But the problem is they're in just really bad shape. The heat and air doesn't work well at all. You know, electrical problems, and they're dirty. They rent them to you dirty. They won't even clean them. You have to do all that yourself. But they should be happy they've got them rented. But I think they're going to drive out 2 of us, and they're going to be in bad shape trying to rent that. Because like I say, that last one, it's been like a year that is not rented. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, and then the next question is, so how much did they rent it to, that woman, for claiming it's indoor storage, you know, the climate control, which it's not. Um, and because they wouldn't rent it to me, so I could empty the other half of my unit out there at the storages. I could have emptied that other unit out there, and I moved it over to my office, and it had the 2 offices there, and used the other one for inventory, you know, boxes of inventory, so that I could sell it and just have it all, you know, there, and get rid of that one of 10 by 20s and just have the other 10 by 20, and then financially I'd be a little more balanced instead of living like a millionaire paying almost $1,000 a month and I'm freaking homeless, you know. uh, so without the storage auctions, that really hurt my money because I haven't done any in like 4 months. But she threatened me, you know, over a week ago with, I'll fuck up your storages, and I'll do this, and I'll mess up your office. If you want to do auctions, I'll mess you up there. See, all that stuff's owned by the same corporate. They have a lot of different locations, and they're building a new one too, out by Defunk. I'm trying to think where that is. It's almost to Panama. They're building a new one right now. But I think it's just storages. I'm not sure. She had told me about it. So I don't know. But the other office people were telling me, man, you can report somebody like that terrorizing and stuff, you know. And plus, she jacked my rents real bad because they were like 150 and 170, and now they're like both apparently are 200 because when I had the guy look it up, he said both of them were the same price, and they were like around 200, and I'm like, and how? Because somebody hates me because they have a pit bull? I mean, the dog's not my problem, man. All I do is business here. I pay and do business. I don't care about, your animals, your house, your car, any of that stuff. Has nothing to do with the business I do. But I will say, it's sad when you are friends with somebody or thought you were friends with somebody and they turn on you just like a pit bull. And it's like, whoa, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. I'll just be, cordial with you. Because I don't put up with it. I'll give you about 3 chances for stupidity, and then I'm finished. I just don't have time for you in my life if you have negativity and stuff. I still can't get over how beautiful today is. Man, if I could take a day off, but I got to keep moving along, even though I can't really do any sales. I mean, I might get some sales off of eBay, the little stuff, because I only listed little stuff so that I could ship it really cheap. Because all my shipping on my good stuff is like, $10 and $20. And that little cheapy stuff is like, $5. It's so expensive to ship now. So, and I only have 3 days to ship right now, since that's a brand new account. I have no way to trust the shipping. So I don't want to mess it up. Because it's been years since I've been on there, and I'm really excited to get on a better site. It's a problematic site, but there's a lot of sales on there compared to Etsy. Etsy is just slow. Man, it's like you're just going crazy looking for orders. And I'm not the only one. It's just, if they would advertise, if they would take all that money they're making from the sellers and advertise and do something about that site, they would be doing so much more. But they want the sellers to pay to advertise and all this stuff. No, I'm not paying crap. I already pay you like 15%. And they just raised the seller fee, for each item. So it's really high. Hell, when I run costumes in the clubs, I usually pay about 10%. That's usually the agreed amount. There's some clubs that are a little bit higher. I won't run as much because they're too high. I have several clubs that let me run for free across the states. They welcome me to come in the door. And I say, well, great. If you can let me run for free, then I give the discount to the girls. So I'll make your price cheaper for the girls. And then I always tip everybody. The doorman, if they love me in and out. The bartender. The waitress, she brings me Cokes. I always take care of the folks because that money comes back to you in the bar business. Always does. Who has the highest fees, eBay or Etsy? Well, right now, Etsy. Because Etsy's 20 cents an ad for like 3 months. And then it's the hardest thing to figure out because they don't explain it all right on the website. It's real confusing. And I couldn't figure out if it was like 20 cents each month for 3 months or how that went. But it's apparently 20 cents for one ad that will run for 3 months. So I have like over 400 ads because I work every day, photographing, posting, making stuff, photograph, post. And so I'm trying to stay hip with the market, making the new stuff and selling my other stuff. It's already made. so I can try to get money from both ends. But it's just such a slow site. Now, eBay, I've already been on there like a month. So, um, and I just have a few ads, and I'm kind of really hoping it doesn't sell because I won't get paid till after it shows that it's been shipped and received, and it'll probably be 2 or 3 days after that I get paid. So, it's a long time to have your money hung up. And if I get other orders on top of orders to ship, even if they're $5 shipping each, I mean, even if you get just 4 orders, that's like $20 plus your gas and all that other crap. And then you gotta wait for them to get it and show it's been received and wait for eBay to pay you a few days after. And so you got to be real careful about how you run your money. So, yeah. So you have to watch it. But eBay, this month they're offering me again. It's like 200. I think it's 200 ads or $27,000 in sales in 30 days, whichever comes first. So you get absolutely free 200 ads. But, I mean, if it sells, you got to pay all their fees. But you don't have to pay the PayPal fees and all that junk anymore because they refuse to do any business with PayPal. They already stopped that. So, you probably still can do PayPal if you want to purchase something on eBay. But as a seller, you can't run it. You can pay so for your bank to pay you can't use it on eBay anymore. So here's the vet that I would like to have. 2 vets parked behind me. But eBay used to be the worst of all. eBay used to cost me $400 to $600 a month just to list ads. And I was like, man, it's like paying for a brick and mortar storefront, which I could rent a place for that then. And it was aggravating, but the sales were real good. And then you had so many problematic customers. God, they'd say they didn't get it, and they did. And then they didn't like it or something, And they leave you crappy feedback. I think the first account I opened over there, I had a store and I was selling like a bandit. And I was doing I guess all stripper clothes, just clothes, no shoes, no boots, just clothes. And I don't even think I was doing rhinestone bras on there. And because you had to be careful selling really expensive stuff on there because you get jacked by PayPal back then for thousands of dollars, multiple times. And so, people were leaving crappy feedback, especially people that I would buy from on eBay. God, what a mess. So much junk on eBay. And it's like you pray after you order it. And you pray that when you order it that they'll even ship. Because there's so many scammers. And you pray that when you open that box, it's not used. You pray that it's what you ordered. So, now I bought from some really good sellers repeatedly on eBay, through the years. They were just fantastic. But there's a lot of really trashy stuff. And I don't care how many feedback they got or ratings or what their ratings are. It doesn't make a difference. Because the people that sell a ton of stuff on eBay, they can have all kinds of negatives, but they're buried because they have so many sales, it keeps rolling over. So you have to spend like an hour to go through all their stuff to try to see if they have really severe complaints about whatever you're ordering. There's so much time to research just to buy one item. And I'd rather walk through the mall for hours and look for stuff than to search somebody's background on an eBay shop. But yeah, so it used to be really bad. It was the most worthless site to me because it was horrendous. I sold a ton, But it was just so expensive. I'm paying brick and mortar rent. And all the fees behind that. When you sell something, you got to pay like 4 or 5 different fees after you sell it. And it's like they keep chomping at your money. And, but, I had a huge amount of sales. I really did well, but I was getting negative ratings, people that were pissed off, wanted free stuff, and, you know, wanted overnight shipping, and I didn't offer overnight shipping, and, combined discounts, I don't do that either. And, I'll send them a free gift before I'll give them combined shipping. That's just what I do. Try to make it worth it. I'm not gonna like totally rip you off. So, but yeah, it was just real problematic, and I think that's why I lost that first one, was because of the ratings. They just said I wasn't up to par for eBay, and they had really strong rating rules back then. And I was like, I sold a lot of stuff though, but Amazon was so much better because it wasn't problematic like that with the bullshit drama. So, and Amazon was way cheaper, about half the price to sell on. But you have to wait, like, they pay you like every 2 weeks. So, yeah. And so you kind of have to wait for your money on Amazon. The big thing about Amazon was you better say you shipped the item, or they're not going to pay you on the next paycheck. You have to wait till the next one. Did I sell vape stuff or clothes? Did you say? Not then. No, vaping wasn't even in yet. Nobody had invented that yet. I just did like gowns, kids' clothes, baby bonnets, porcelain figurines, and I sold a ton. I sold a ton of porcelain figurines. I mean, just hand over fist. But uh, they deposit daily after you get past that first 30 or 60 days on the eBay shop. You get your payment, it goes boom. That Amazon was like, pretty much once a month. It was on like the 15th or something. So you had to make sure that before payday, you had to go through all your orders and start marking shipped and put a tracking number in there. And otherwise, you'd miss it till the next payday. So technically, when you ship, you're not paid. And you got to wait for all that money for weeks. So if you mark it paid and put a tracking number in there, then Amazon forwards your money to your bank deposit. And so you'll get all that money and not have to wait another couple weeks. And so that's why Amazon's so problematic, because these sellers are marking shipped after like 2 days of the order and putting a tracking number in, because they're printing out one off their computer from some shipping label company, and then they're putting that tracking number in, they haven't even shipped the package. And I mean, you could see it. If you look at the tracking, it just says seller shipped. And it doesn't say anything for days or a week, and then all of a sudden it'll say, package was accepted by USPS, or package was accepted by UPS. And that means they just dropped it off. So, that's the scam of Amazon. It's really bad now, because I have one seller you guys know I waited like 3 weeks for some shoes, and they put a tracking number in, 3 days after I bought the item. And they kept telling me that UPS lost the item. And when I called UPS 3 times, they're like, we haven't even got it. They said, right here on the computer, we can see they printed a label, but we have not received the item. And I'm like, get out. So all that lying and bull crap, and the seller kept jacking me, UPS has lost it. We've put in a claim. UPS didn't lose nothing. You're lying. You didn't even have the product to ship. And that was over Pleaser Shoes, which the factory's in California. And the factory's in bad shape because of the pandemic. Nobody wants to come to work. So they're running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they got like 2 people running it. and their orders are 3 and 4 months behind. I talked to people that sell shoes in Tampa and a costume shop, and they have some other shops around the states. And I talked to the dude in shipping, in the back warehouse. And I said, what's up with Pleaser and all that? And I said, I heard they're having trouble at the factory. And he says, oh, yeah. He said, 3 to 4 months wait. He said, there's like 2 guys working over there. I'm like, are you kidding me? And that seller on Etsy, the girl that does the glitter shoes from Tampa, that dancer, she has orders that people are reviewing her that they're like, it took a really long time to get it, like 3 months or 4 months. And when they order, she tells them it's like 6 weeks. But for me, hell, Etsy would kill my cow. They're doing that right now. If you have a bunch of orders stuck, they just start locking it all up, and you have to refund it, apparently. And then they're supposed to like reopen your shop when you refund all those orders. But I don't want to take somebody's money for 3 months, especially that kind of money. I mean, her shoes are like, $115, $25 for ship now. And then I think her highest is $200, and then you would pay $25 for ship. So if you've got a $225 order, and then the customer's paying tax and all this other caca, it's like almost $250, or whatever. And then they've got to wait 3 or 4 months. You're holding their money because you can't ship because you're using a crappy shoe that nobody can make, instead of using the same shoe from another maker that's good, and getting it to the customer. I would be mad as hell if I paid that kind of money and had to wait 3 months for my item. I would be like going cuckoo. Dude, I'd be the one emailing like every 2 or 3 days going, hi, what's the deal with my order? And after about 2 weeks, I'd say, can you please refund me? If you're not going to ship, just refund me, and I'll buy from somebody else. Because, you don't know what tomorrow brings, man. What if you go in the hospital? What if you get in a car wreck? You bought some shoes, and freaking, you want to be there when they come, So, and I don't know you. I don't want to give you almost $300 for, 3 months. You might go out of business. Etsy might close your store. And they do. They close stores with no notice. You see stuff about customers that go, I ordered something and then it says their store's not open. Well, just send them the store owner a message. If you're really nervous, just ask for a refund. And hopefully you might get it if they have any money to refund you. And then report it to the company that the site's on. eBay, Etsy, whatever it is. And pray a lot, hoping you'll get your money. There are some times where you won't. There are some times where sellers shut down for a day. Sometimes they shut down 2 days. Sometimes they shut down for a week. Sometimes it takes 3 months to get back on. Just like when my PayPal locked up for about 3 months. And they were all over my butt for having e-cig pictures on my website and no PayPal buttons. And they were still threatening me, telling me I had to take it down. I designed those. I developed them. I had them manufactured. I owned them. If I want pictures of them on my website, I can have pictures of them on my website. My website, I pay it too. It's like sticking stickers on your car. If you want stickers on your car, that's your business. If you want butterfly stickers on your car, hey, that's your business. It's just all a matter of taste. You can only tell me of so much that I can do. There's no law. So, pretty today. The beaches are going to get slammed today. Let's see, what's today? Yeah, this is not a work day. This is Sunday, so the beaches are going to be nuts today. So all these people you're seeing here are going in to get stuff to go to the beach. I'll tell you right now. And if you go to Walmart, you won't even be able to park there. On a day like this, as pretty as this is, you're not going to be able to park there because they're all shopping for stuff to go to the beach. So a lot of the businesses would do very, very well today. A lot of tourists in town, too. So, and then maybe because they got that event at the convention center that they've already started putting it up in the parking lot and stuff. I don't know if they're having one inside. I didn't get to see the sign, but they've got the race cars over there. You know, so and there's a lot driving around the street, so it's probably a real big meet. It might be like a meet and greet, you know, or a coffee walk thing or something like that, where a bunch of people get together. And so, you know, have a couple of sellers out there and stuff too. Well, I guess I'll have to go to work. So, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Love to Inspirational Nomad and Roxanne. And I hope you have a really great and profitable day today. Peaceful day. Do some kind for a stranger. And I'll be back. I'll be back to see you on the next one. I love you guys. Have a great one.